Okay, so Brett here with ClickMail.co. And okay, so in this video, we're going to be talking about the goal. And so this is probably the most important feature of a prompt, in my opinion, and all of the others support the AI's ability to accomplish a goal. And especially here at ClickMail, where, I would say we're very results oriented. We're interested in, did we accomplish the thing that we set out to accomplish? I'm not interested in doing a whole bunch of work and then not getting the growth or not, you know, whatever it is that God's call us to. I'm interested in actually getting the fruit. And so here I'm interested in the AI actually accomplishing the task that we've asked it to. And so for that purpose, we always want to give it a goal and an aim. And this is only going to get more important. So right now in the AI tools and on the back end, and again, if you're watching this on the back end of our agents that you'll have access to, and ladies that you already have access to, the goal is to do XYZ. The goal is to output a fully formatted 2,500 word SEO targeted blog in fluent English. Well, if it does that, then the goal is complete, and that's what we want it to do. If we're not specific with the end task, it doesn't know how to assess whether or not it's successful. And the cool thing too is occasionally, because the AIs can't think in advance, they just project. The way these things work is they literally just read through all the parameters that you give it, and then it just projects the next word. And it's like, well, 70% probability the next word is at, and then the next word is the, and then the next word is church. And this is how it creates the stuff. So it can't think into the future. And so sometimes it doesn't quite hit the goal on the nose. But if you tell it to then go back and assess its output and then, you know, try again or build on its last answer or revise or assess its last answer, it will actually get more accurate because now it's got to sort of rethink what it said before and then tailor the thought process even more accurately to accomplish the goal. So that's an actual strategy to help it hit the goal more accurately. So I think that the goals are going to be even more important moving into the future. And we'll talk about these more in other lessons, but there are just AI chatbots, which is what most people who are familiar with AI at this point know what it is. You just talk to it and it gives you an output. Well, now there are AI agents, and this is going to accelerate very rapidly. And I know the two of you are fairly familiar with that. The agent works like sort of a person. And at this point, the person does not work autonomously, but you can pull in multiple different agents. So we have a blogging agent who writes the blog. And then I can call on the agent who edits the blog. And then I can call on the agent who comes in and adds the SEO. And then I can call on the agent who goes and posts it into WordPress and sets all the settings and launches it out for me. And that is coming very quickly. But what is going to happen right after they master this is that the agents, and they actually, this is already possible. We've already have a little bit of this set up, but the agent will work off in the internet, in the cloud. It will work for you 24 hours a day. So even right now, we have agents set up. If I turn them on, they will go through all of our keyword plans and just create templated blogs. Not templated, what would I say? It will outline blogs to be written and post them in our Google Drive file. And it'll go through 1,000 blogs back to back and create blog outlines. And then all we have to do is go to those blog outlines and re-enter them and have it write them. And so an agent, as they continue to develop, will work autonomously separate from us. It will just say, the goal is to write all the articles in the keyword plan according to the content, like according to the positions and the philosophy and the biblical sort of approach that is already on the website. So it's going to read the website, write a blog, read a website, write a blog, and it's just going to output all the blogs and post them to the website. That's right around the corner. So the goals are going to be even more important because the goals and the values that we operate off of are going to guide its behavior when we're not directly interacting with it. So prompting AI with a goal is important. Now it's going to be even more important because that is what is going to target its effort as they begin to work without direct supervision. Does that help to, does that make sense? You guys have any questions on that?
While that might be true, I think that as these agents will produce more and more content autonomously, we must be even more careful and to always revise what the AI has written and has
Yes.
produced. Because the more independent it becomes, the more space there will be for mistakes and misunderstandings.
I
So
love it.
maybe we need to be even more careful with the development of this
Yes. And I think,
technology, as I can say.
yes. And one of the things that I would build on that with, and I say this pretty frequently because I've had to sort of answer this question for myself. A lot of people think the AI is going to become the marketer. I don't think that that is necessarily the case. At least for the time being, you are the marketer. You are the business person. You're in the driver's seat, and the AI is only going to perform to the level of specification that you give it. So if you give it a wishy-washy goal or you give it poor context, you're going to get poor outputs. And so, yes, Kate, we want to, until we can be very certain that we can let these things operate independently of us, we want to make sure that we're checking the outputs. And this is no different than what we do with, you guys and the interns. It's, you guys start, you come in fresh and you don't know marketing, and we go through and we train on all these different subjects. And I do it, and then we watch you do it and give you feedback. And then, you do it, you do 5 or 10 of them by yourself. And then we spot check those results to work out any kinks. We have you go back and fix those. And then you know how to do it. And we say, okay, go do it a bunch of times, and then you master it. Well, the same is true with these AIs, at least during the training. And all of these AIs all over the world are currently just being trained. Now, so right now we're having to train them. Now, in the future, they just may know this stuff out of the box. We don't know. But at least for now, yeah, we've got to be watching them and making sure that they're performing properly. And not only that, just because we can give it a goal and it can accomplish that goal most of the time, it does not mean that we can trust it to accomplish it all of the time. And this is true with people too. But for example, my military combatives trainer, who I've spent a lot of time with, you know, he said you don't rise to the occasion. If something bad happens, you don't just suddenly become a hero and like run into the fray and, you know, something like that. You fall to your level of training. So panic ensues. And if you can just function on a normal level in a chaotic situation, that's good enough. Good job, because that takes a lot of training to be able to function normally with emergencies and chaos going on around you. Well, the same thing is true with AI. And this is particularly true in things like the stock market. You have all of these algorithms in the stock market that buy and sell every day, and they generally make a lot of money. But what happens is when there's a big change in how the economy works, like for example, let's say everybody starts selling, well, they're all primed with this sell at this number. So let's say if Walmart, and I'm just making this up, but let's say if Walmart drops below $50, sell. Well, everybody's using AI. Everybody's using these pre-programmed algorithms. And once Walmart hits $50, all of them sell simultaneously. That creates reverberating effects in the system. And so then we go from like, well, it was slumping a little and then it just bottoms out and it just drops straight to the bottom. Well, then they don't know what to do because nobody actually thought that that would happen. But since everybody programmed all these AIs the same way, they change how things actually work. And now the question is, what do we do in an emergency situation? And that is also something that may or may not be the case. And of course, we don't know yet, but may or may not be the case with these artificial intelligence tools. When we give it a goal, for example, let's say we could train this AI to be just as good as us in creating articles that rank #1 on Google, or maybe even better. Well, we figure that out and we have our AI go write 1,000 articles and go dump them all on Google for all the sites we manage and all this stuff. Well, someone else is going to figure that out too. Like, it's not brain surgery. And then how many AIs are doing that? Well, a whole bunch. And then what? You can't have 50 articles rank #1 for Google on every single search term. So now that changes the nature of how, now everybody can rank #1 because everybody can rank #1. Nobody can rank #1. So the AI's working actually makes it so the AI doesn't work. So once we start getting into the AI's accomplishing goals really well, they may actually create circumstances that inhibit them from creating the goals. So we can let them loose, Kate, but we may also need to only let them loose so far in certain cases. And that's obviously, we got to critical think that, figure out what that means. So great. Any other questions? Sophie, you doing okay with that?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, when you're talking about giving it a goal, can you like question the AI to ask how it would achieve, like what information you can give it in order to like achieve the goal and things like that? Like kind of
Yes.
have a conversation with it so that you can get like the best results.
Great question. Yes. Let's actually end this video here, and we'll actually do another video, and we're going to talk about we'll take a break from what we're talking about right now. We got a couple more of these to go, but we're going to talk about meta prompting. Okay, because that's a question that you're asking. So if you're watching this, these might be a little out of order, and you want to see the answer to Sophie's question, look at the meta prompting lesson. All right, so I'm going to pause and we'll get started on that one.